Hello and welcome to another day in paradise. I just wanted to have a little informal chat with yourselves about the feedback I've been getting in regards to the video I posted about dynastemia and Art Cathey and the rest of the diasporans who have this air of arrogance. I think a lot of the continentals are saying about them having the answer to Africa's problems. Now, the thing is, when I have African people, and I'm saying African people on purpose, when I have Africans coming onto my YouTube channel and saying to me, oh, well, you know, how are you going to solve Africa's problems? I think to myself, wait a minute. Africa is a continent. It has many countries, thousands of different ethnicities, thousands of different languages. Yet you yourself know this, and here you are telling us, do we have the solution to all of Africa's problems? And as a diasporan, I said no, of course not. The problem solving is going to come from the continentals. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Okay? The problems cannot be solved without the continentals. But each of the 54 countries, some of which most of the people in there don't even identify themselves with, especially specifically with us West Africans and black Africans as Westerners, because a lot of them have taken up that Western paradigm. Black Westerners, they think that for some reason they believe that we absolutely know that Africa needs us. The truth be told, Africa is in our hearts. The first time I ever went to West Africa was 20 years ago. I went to West Africa long before the internet even existed. Okay, so I was there on the ground in the Gambia. I went to Dakar as well, which is not a million miles away from the Gambia, and I saw with my own two eyes the way the Arabs that were there, I'm not sure which country they were from, but the ones that owned a lot of the businesses there, I saw the way they looked at other black patrons to their restaurants. It's so surprising to see an Arab man look at black people walking into a restaurant whilst they're in a black country with an air of questioning why that person is there, even though they know most of the time those black people are not locals, because locals wouldn't eat their garbage anyway. Okay, so I was there 20 years ago, and I really had a hard time. I struggled trying to find restaurants that were owned by the natives. I struggled to find one. I found one, and then I had to eat also at another one of the natives' house. I went to their house in the village because it was just, oh, dearie me. It was so bad, you know. You could walk down the high street in Banjul You could find plenty of these other Indian hotel owners. What are they doing there? They're there for one thing. They're there for coin. It's so annoying, and this is where I'm getting it from. So I'm not getting it from Art Cathey. I don't listen to her. I was there a long time before she ever even thought about Africa. I'm getting this from my own experience. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll realize that I now know that I am an Akan, which is nice. It's a beautiful thing to know my history. And I'm still learning a lot about it, so I can teach my kids about it, so they know about it as well. They know about their history and what their people went through and how they were kings, rulers. I don't want them to live in their mind that the colour of their skin came from, the premise came from slavery. That's where our history started, when the reality is we are so much more than that. I don't even talk to them about slavery. It's not important. We've been around for thousands of years. Slavery was what? It lasted for almost 3 centuries. So what I'm supposed to teach my kids is that's what we were? No, fuck that. No way. Not happening. So anyway, you have these Arabs and you have the Chinese, and you have, you know, I was there before the Chinese came there and started really fully integrating into societies in Kenya, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, it's not Zimbabwe, Zambia I should say, you know. I was there a long time before that. And I can tell you this now, there is an awful lot we can learn from them. And when I mean them, I mean the Europeans, the Chinese, and the Arabs. But more specifically, the Chinese. The Chinese are the ones that we really need to learn from, because they are proven. They have a proven method that we could apply to our own culture. Now, we can't apply everything to that is Chinese to our own culture, but business, because simply because we are different, we are not the same as Chinese. We are not the same culturally. We couldn't be further apart, really, could we? These people will eat each other if it means getting a percentage, a goddamn percentage. They will do anything to further their own success at the behest of anybody else that gets in their way. We need to do this. As Africans, we should be doing the exact same thing too. We should be putting our people first at all costs. We should be seeing ourselves as first-class citizens in our country. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but we should be seeing ourselves as first-class citizens in our own country, and not treating anyone with the cross of Jesus hanging around his neck, blonde hair and cargo shorts, not treating them better than our locals, than our people. You think are you ever going to see that? Do you think you're ever going to see Chinese people? You think you're ever going to see Chinese people give the advantage to an African over their own people? Of course not. That would never happen. But for some reason we would do this. So, like I said before, to all the people who are watching this, I'm letting you know, I'm not a talker. I'm a walker. I have my plans that I'm implementing, and I'm going to come to Africa and I'm going to live an extremely good life, and I'm going to do everything in my power to empower my people regardless of what anybody says on YouTube. I barely listen to negative responses anyway, because I don't know who they're coming from most of the time. Most of the time they come from profiles that don't have a profile picture. Yeah, I can see you, I know you. So I don't even know if they're coming from black people. You don't know. You don't know if they're coming from black people. You don't know if they're coming from Africans. They could be coming from anyone. So anyway, that's one of the things we can learn from the Chinese, to be a bit more ruthless with our approach when it comes to other races. Let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to be racist to a Chinese person? No? Have you ever, said something racist towards a Chinese person, something derogatory, something which is specifically racist towards Chinese people? Have you ever said anything to them, to their faces? Have you seen the way they react when you do? Let me tell you something. You can do it. They won't do anything back to you. Doesn't matter whether you're black or white or wherever you've come from. You can be racist to a Chinese person. Do you want me to tell you why? Because in the eyes of Chinese man, no other race matters. No other race even exists in their eyes. You are less than nothing to them. And I'm not just talking about black people, I'm talking about any other person who is not ethnically Chinese. So I'm talking about South Asians as well. They don't care about anybody else. You can be as racist as you like to them because your opinion is absolutely irrelevant to them. And it's these types of, it's this that we kind of need to implement into the lives of Africans. We need to put ourselves in a position where we take that power back from people. Because at this moment, people have the power to offend us by saying little silly things. They shouldn't be offending us. We should know who we are. If we knew who we was, we would never be offended. We would never be offended by what other people say. We would understand. We'd probably feel sorry for them because we're Africans and we're good-hearted and well-natured people. Naturally that way. We're naturally this way. We are the types of people that give respect, but seldom do we get it back. And we need to teach our children that respect is due where respect is given. You don't just give respect and get disrespect back, so you give more respect. You don't do that. You're literally teaching people how to treat you. And this is going to be bad. I can see some bad things happening once the diasporans come back, because a lot of diasporans are going to come back to Africa and they're going to feel empowered. They're going to feel empowered and they're not going to take the same BS that the Chinese give to the native continentals most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. I don't think we need division. We don't need further division. We need unity. We need some form of unity. And we can start by focusing on those people who have coming over to destroy black lives, coming over to Africa specifically for that reason. We need to start there and take it from there. We need to be more militant. We need to teach and reteach those diasporans, those non-African diasporans who are living in Africa, that this is our land. And we'll do whatever the hell we want to. So anyway, please like and subscribe. Once again, I'm sorry for this informal chat. It's my partner's birthday today, so I'm gonna go take her out to a nice vegan restaurant. So stay healthy, stay good, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon. To our bit.